Hi, I'm Judy Keel, Secretary of the Friends of MCTV. And since turnabout is fair play, I've traded chairs with John McPeak, and I'm pleased to introduce him and Lynn Sauvé. They're here to tell us some things about a great annual Midland County event, the Mud Creek Crawl. Now, John, as I understand it, you've been involved with the Mud Creek Crawl for about as long as there's been a Mud Creek, right? You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, maybe not quite as long as Mud Creek, but I have been involved since the inception. The first Mud Creek Crawl was in 1980, and at that time I helped out a little bit, was a participant. And since that time, over the years, I've become the director of the Mud Creek Crawl. The Mud Creek Crawl is a running, now walking event, a running and walking event. We have a 5-kilometer walk, a 5-kilometer run, and a 10-kilometer run. It's been presented by the Midland County Parks and Rec Department. Mm-hmm. It is also one of the 13 races in the Element race series that is a bunch of local races here. One of the unique things, the most unique thing about the Mud Creek Crawl is the handicapping system, where each runner, each participant has their time adjusted by an age factor, a gender factor, and a body mass index factor, which each one of those factors can reduce the time so that we then hopefully have set it up so that if everybody runs as hard as they can, they all end up with the same time, and we hand out all first place medals. We've been doing that for a long time, and the people that come there, a lot of them come year after year. It's a lot of a social event. It's all off-road. It's on the trails in Pine Haven Recreation Area, which is in Sanford. This year, we have a new administrator of the run, which is Try to Finish. Try to Finish is a company that presents and puts on these kinds of events. In the past, the Parks and Recreation Department has always prepared the trails, prepared the area, and will again this year. And we've run the event itself mostly with volunteers. Try to Finish will be doing their thing and using a few volunteers, but a lot of the same thing that they do with a lot of other races, those runners that are familiar with Try to Finish. So Pine Haven area, recreation area is at the west end of Maynard Road, which is off West River Road, and it's, as I indicated before, it's all trails that were designed for cross-country skiing. So there's a lot of uphills and downhills, especially for Midland County. It's a kind of rustic terrain, and occasionally there may be some obstacles. It's not a steeplechase, but there are some times that there have been things out there in the course. This year, every participant will get a T-shirt, and there will be a souvenir for each of the participants that joined the race this year.
Oh, great. Now, Lynn, you've taken part a lot of years also in many ways as a participant, but also as a volunteer. Can you describe some of those experiences for us?
Oh, sure. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me, because I'm a very big cheerleader for the Mud Creek Crawl.
Awesome.
My experiences have been very positive. First of all, I love the venue. Pine Haven is a beautiful place to run. Mm-hmm. It's very special and unique for Midland County. I also love how challenging the race is. The hills there are extremely steep, both uphill and downhill, and very challenging. And as John had mentioned, it's a very social run. It's just a very unique experience and a lot of fun.
So that was where I was going with my next question. What is there about the Mud Creek Crawl that makes it something that you would want anybody to experience?
There's so many things, but like I said before, actually the venue, the place, the Pine Haven itself in Sanford is gorgeous. And the handicap system is so unique. Basically handicapping based on if you're male or female, your gender, how old you are, and then your BMI. That's very rare to get that in a race. Mm-hmm. Also, the giveaways. Some of the things I brought today are like neck coolant they've given in the past. Yeah. Yep, and that's really neat to have. And gloves, socks. They've given away mini flashlights. Mm-hmm. Everything that's for an active person that we love. We love to have those kind of things as a runner. So, they also give free massages. At the end of the race. You can get a free massage.
I might sign up just for that.
Yes, and it's just an experience. It's an all-around experience, and I encourage everyone to come out and enjoy the Mud Creek Crawl.
Wonderful. John, you said that there are some new wrinkles in this year's event. Could you tell us what's going to be new about it?
I'd mentioned Try to Finish as being involved this year for the first time. We have chip timing, which we've had in the past, but this year's chip timing will be slightly different. Each participant will have a chip, and when they cross the mat at the start of the race, it will record that, and when they cross the different mat at the end of the race, it will be recorded, so that in the past we didn't have a starting mat. Another thing that is new this year is it will be USATF sanctioned, which is meaningless to anybody except very serious runners. And actually, because it's an off-road trail race, it's not that meaningful, but it's another aspect of the race that we haven't had in the past. We also will have an official photographer taking pictures. There'll be music, food. It's an event.
Well, that's great. I'd like to thank you guys as my guests once again, Lynn Sauvé and John McPeak. Thanks for getting us fired up about this race. I hope it comes off very successfully for you again this year.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in this first monthly installment of Community Focus. We've enjoyed hearing about some important, engaging, and even some downright goofy activities that we can all look forward to in September here in Midland. And remember, if your club or nonprofit organization would like to join us at this table in months to come, find our application online at MCTV section of the city website, or visit MCTV in person to submit an application. We'd love to have you be a part of Community Focus.